Hi, thank you for taking time to learn more about Golden Age Yoga and to learn right now about foundations, the foundations of our practice. Specifically, I'm referring to the hands and the feet. My understanding and my belief is that all structures that bear the test of time have good foundations. Homes, business centers, other buildings all have strong, sound foundations which support the rest of the structure. So too in our bodies and in the practice of yoga. Talking first about the hands, which in the yoga tradition might be referred to as Hasta Bandha. The ancient yogis referred to a number of different body locks called bandhas that exist in the body. Two of those are Hasta Bandha and Pada Bandha, the feet, the foot lock and the hand lock. Hasta is hand, Pada is foot. So, how do we use our hands to support ourselves in poses such as table pose, for example, or downward facing dog? It's important to spread the fingers wide. Make sure that the second finger is facing away from you, and that you root into or press more firmly into the area around the index between the thumb and into the base of the thumb. Notice, if you will, that there's a stronger, bigger bone here in the area of the thumb than on the outside of the hand near the pinky finger. So we want to support ourselves with stronger bones and muscles, while pressing into the index finger and the thumb and then drawing them towards one another isometrically. This creates actually a little arch in the palm of the hand and lifts out of the two sides of the heel of the palm to create a little lift in the bottom of the hand. So let me show you what that would look like in practice. I'll come first into table pose. Using my hands as foundation, I spread my fingers wide, sending the middle finger forward, creating space between the index and the thumb, and rooting into the pads behind the fingers, as well as the pads of the fingers or the fingertips. And into that area I spoke about between the thumb and the index finger, really pressing into that. And then I can feel firm and grounded and supported well through the hands, and continue in my practice however that might exist. Pressing up into downward facing dog, it's common to rock out to the outer edge and lift through the index finger. But as I said earlier, it's important to support the wrists and the rest of the body with good biodynamics, staying safe through practice. So I want to root into the index finger, into the area around the thumb, the fingertips and the pads behind the fingers around the knuckles, and then press the index and the thumb towards one another isometrically. And then I'll lower down back to table pose, and that is the foundation of the hands, Hasta Bandha. Now to the feet. Now, of course, the feet are going to be our foundation in standing poses. And the bottom of the foot has the big toe pad, the outer heel, the baby toe pad, and the inner heel. And of course the arch and the toes. I'm going to come into our first standing pose in most practices, which is called Tadasana. I'll bring my feet right under my hip sockets, not the outer hips, but the hip sockets, and send my second toe straight ahead. And then from there, you will often hear me say, lift your toes, please, and spread them wide. Once lifted, press into the big toe pad. And then the outer heel, the baby toe pad, and the inner heel. Lift your arches and energize your feet. Keeping those feet energized, take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, keeping the toes spread wide, lower them to the earth. Turn your palms forward, draw your shoulder blades towards one another on your back body. Lift your heart and feel into Tadasana, mountain pose, rooting into all four corners of your feet. Feel strong and stable like a mountain. So the yogis, in their wisdom, the ancient yogis, in their wisdom, knew things that are now being discovered by science in today's world. They knew that rooting into the feet and energizing what we now know is the deep front line of the body, that fascial line, referring to fascia, the line of fascia that exists like a sheath from the big toe pad all the way up the back of the calves, through the inner thighs, the groins, and up the internal core of the body to the root of the back of the thumb, and then up and over right behind the eyes. This is now scientifically known to be the deep front line of the body, which stabilizes us and creates a sense of connectiveness within the innermost part of our bodies, creating a sense of groundedness and stability. And it's amazing to me that 5,000 years ago or more, these ancient yogis knew what we now know to be a very important part of maintaining the integrity of a strong core to support the body under gravity throughout all the years of life. So in our practice of yoga, we focus on foundation in order to support ourselves, our bodies, in the most beneficial ways, so that we are able to practice and experience all the benefits that a wonderful yoga practice will bring to each of us. Thank you so much. Namaste.